In sports, jealousy can be as destructive as a bad shot in the final seconds. And no story captures that better than the tense rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Ajay Wilson. For months, the WNBA watched as Wilson's frustration bubbled over into public attacks. She questioned Clark's accolades, undermined her rookie and sophomore seasons, and even went so far as to suggest she deserved Clark's Nike endorsement more. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's career was on a meteoric rise. Records shattered, arenas filled, fans pouring in from every corner of the country, all captivated by her extraordinary talent and charisma. While Clark was building her legacy on the court, Wilson's attempts to keep pace off the court began to unravel. Her social media posts, passive-aggressive comments, and public critiques weren't just transparent, they were desperate. Then came the ultimate consequence. Team USA made a bold statement. Wilson, who thought she could define the narrative, suddenly found herself on the outside looking in. Clark, on the other hand, was receiving the call every athlete dreams about: the invitation to elite training camps, the chance to compete alongside rising stars like Aaliyah Boston and Paige Bucker, and the opportunity to lead the next generation of Team USA Basketball. This wasn't just a nod to skill, it was a coronation. Clark was no longer being evaluated, she was being anointed. Every drill, every scrimmage, every off-court session was designed to prepare her to be the floor general, the linchpin of a new era for USA Basketball. While Wilson obsessed over the spotlight she could not seize, Clark was preparing to command it. The contrast couldn't have been starker. One player is chasing recognition, the other is earning it naturally through sheer talent, work ethic, and poise under pressure. And as the WNBA community watched, it became painfully clear: jealousy does not just tarnish relationships. It can dismantle careers. Caitlin Clark's invitation to the elite Team USA training camp was more than an honor. It was a declaration. This wasn't a casual evaluation. This was the start of a generational shift in women's basketball, and Clark was the centerpiece. As she stepped onto the Duke training court alongside rising stars like Aaliyah Boston, Paige Bucker, Angel Reese, and Guya Watkins, it became clear this team was built to complement her, not just accommodate her. The camp itself was meticulously designed. Gone were the days of slow, half-court possessions and rigid systems. USA Basketball had reinvented its offense around speed, spacing, and a fearless playmaker who could orchestrate the game with unmatched court vision. Clark, already a master of transition basketball in the WNBA, found herself in an environment that amplified her strengths, challenged her creativity, and tested her leadership under fire. And then there was Sue Bird. Her presence was symbolic yet profoundly practical. Bird wasn't brought in to maintain old traditions. She was here to bridge the gap between the veteran ethos and the future-focused vision of Team USA. She recognized Clark's game as revolutionary, precise, lightning fast, and capable of redefining international competition. Under Bird's mentorship, Clark wasn't just a participant. She was a blueprint for the next era. Every drill emphasized pace, quick decision-making, and creating opportunities through intelligent ball movement. Clark wasn't learning the system. She was running it. Coaches quietly built lineups around her unique skill set, imagining scenarios for the 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics. Unlike most rookies who spend years earning their minutes, Clark was earning influence immediately. Her impact would not be measured in just points or assists, but in how she elevated everyone around her. Meanwhile, Ajay Wilson remained on the outside. Her absence was a silent testament to the consequences of envy and negativity. She had spent months trying to dim Clark's light, and now the universe of basketball was moving forward without her. Fans, sponsors, and USA Basketball officials had chosen a new standard, one defined by talent, professionalism, and dedication rather than resentment. Clark's rise wasn't just a personal victory. It was a transformative moment for the sport itself. Team USA's approach signaled a new era, one where creativity, pace, and defense dictated dominance. And at the heart of this revolution stood Caitlin Clark, fully prepared, fully capable, and already leaving her mark. While Caitlin Clark's star continued to rise, Ajay Wilson's shadow grew darker. What started as subtle critiques quickly escalated into a full-blown campaign of jealousy. Every record Clark broke, every milestone she achieved, Wilson had a comment, a complaint, or a comparison that always put herself in the center. Rookie awards, assist records, jersey sales, nothing escaped her scrutiny. Wilson's "I Have a Shoe Too" campaign became a symbol of desperation. While Clark's Kobe-branded sneakers sold out in minutes, creating queues and online frenzies across multiple retailers, Wilson's own releases struggled to gain traction. She tried to mirror Clark's every success, posting behind-the-scenes footage, cryptic tweets, and passive-aggressive messages, but the contrast couldn't have been starker. Fans and insiders saw through the attempt to steal the spotlight. Her social media attacks went beyond professional rivalry, they were personal. Wilson questioned Clark's endorsements, belittled her accolades, and even suggested Clark's historic recognition was influenced by factors unrelated to merit. Every tweet, every post, every statement exposed Wilson's insecurity and frustration. She wasn't celebrating Clark's success. She was fighting a battle she could never win. Meanwhile, Clark's influence expanded far beyond the court. Her appeal brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball. Television ratings soared. Merchandise sold at record-breaking rates. Corporate sponsors lined up, eager to associate with her talent and professionalism. Clark became a global figure, a beacon for the next generation of athletes, while Wilson's attempts to keep pace only highlighted the growing gap between them. Every misstep Wilson made reinforced her decline. Fans grew tired of the negativity. Sponsors reconsidered their affiliations. Even USA Basketball officials saw Wilson's behavior as a liability, not an asset. In trying to tear Clark down, Wilson had inadvertently showcased the qualities that made Clark untouchable: grit, consistency, humility, and vision. This is the brutal truth about jealousy in professional sports. It doesn't just harm the target, it destroys the jealous player. Clark's rise wasn't a threat, it was a spotlight that exposed Wilson's insecurity. And as Team USA prepared for its next generation, the choice was clear. Clark was indispensable. Wilson's toxic campaign had left her sidelined. A cautionary tale of ambition tainted by envy, Caitlin Clark wasn't just dominating on the court. She was rewriting the business of women's basketball. When Nike offered her an 8-year, $28 million contract, it wasn't merely a shoe deal, it was a seismic shift. The WNBA, long striving for global recognition, suddenly had a star whose appeal transcended the game itself. Clark wasn't just a player. She was a brand, a phenomenon capable of drawing fans, sponsors, and media attention like never before. A.J. Wilson's response revealed everything. Instead of congratulating Clark, she posted vague, passive-aggressive messages about her own delayed launches. She attempted to compete for attention, but every move exposed the widening gap. Clark's shoes sold out in minutes, resellers flipped them for double the price, and media outlets celebrated her unprecedented market impact. Meanwhile, Wilson's releases barely registered. Every metric, sales, media mentions, endorsements highlighted the reality. Clark was leagues ahead. This contrast went beyond sneakers. Clark's endorsement portfolio expanded rapidly, with Fortune 500 companies lining up for speaking engagements, marketing campaigns, and appearances. She became a household name, featured in financial and business publications analyzing her influence on consumer behavior. Even business schools studied her rise, dissecting how one athlete could transform the commercial landscape of an entire sport. Wilson, despite years of professional accolades, found herself scrambling for relevance. Sponsors who had once considered her shifted their budgets toward Clark, television networks, and merchandise. Companies prioritized Clark's brand over hers. Every attempt Wilson made to claim equal footing only amplified her lagging influence. In trying to compete, she underscored how far behind she truly was. Meanwhile, Clark thrived, embracing every opportunity with professionalism and grace. Her focus remained on excellence, not envy. The market responded in kind. Nike, the WNBA, corporate partners, and fans recognized her as the face of women's basketball. Clark's rise wasn't accidental. It was earned, nurtured by relentless work ethic, talent and vision. In this battle of legacy and influence, the lesson was clear: while jealousy can consume, confidence and consistency build empires. Clark's brand wasn't just about shoes or contracts, it was about representing the sport at its highest level, inspiring the next generation and proving that greatness cannot be undermined by envy. Wilson watched it all unfold, a spectator to a revolution she had tried and failed to stop. Team USA wasn't just assembling talent, they were crafting a revolution. And at the heart of it all was Caitlin Clark. Unlike previous generations, where veterans dictated the pace and rookies observed from the sidelines, Clark stepped into a role of immediate influence. Coaches built lineups around her, every drill designed to amplify her strengths. Every scrimmage an opportunity to test her vision, leadership, and ability to elevate teammates. The strategy was clear: offense would lead the new era of dominance. Gone were the days when half-court grinding and defensive rigidity defined Team USA. The new blueprint emphasized pace, spacing, and dynamic creativity. Clark's mastery of transition play made her indispensable. Every fast break, every crisp pass, every calculated three-pointer wasn't just about points. It was about asserting a new identity for American women's basketball on the global stage. Mentorship played a pivotal role in this evolution. Legends like Sue Bird weren't there to overshadow, they were there to guide. Bird recognized Clark's revolutionary impact and worked tirelessly to bridge old-school discipline with new-school innovation. Through this mentorship, Clark learned to harness her natural flair, command the court, and inspire her teammates to think beyond conventional basketball. Beyond the technical and tactical, Clark's presence reshaped the team's culture. Her work ethic, poise under pressure, and dedication to elevating others created an environment where talent thrived, jealousy faded, and unity became paramount. Coaches could rely on her not just for scoring or assists, but for judgment, emotional intelligence, and the ability to maintain cohesion under intense pressure. Meanwhile, the contrast with A.J. Wilson could not have been more striking. While Clark embodied leadership, collaboration, and professionalism, Wilson's envy had left her isolated, irrelevant, and watching from the sidelines. Team USA's choice wasn't just about talent, it was about character, vision, and the ability to carry a team into the future. Clark represented all of it. As Clark honed her skills and built chemistry with rising stars like Aaliyah Boston, Paige Bucker, and Angel Ree, the foundations for the 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics were already taking shape. 2 years of preparation, thousands of hours of practice, and countless exhibition games would ensure that when the international spotlight arrived, Clark wouldn't just play, she would lead, inspire, and redefine what it means to be a global superstar in women's basketball. By the time Clark stepped onto Team USA's courts, her momentum was undeniable. Every step she took was backed by years of preparation, meticulous skill building, and an unshakable mindset. Her combination of speed, precision, and basketball IQ made her not just a player, but the orchestrator of an entire offense. The drills, the practices, the strategic rotations, all of it was evidence that Clark had become the central axis around which the new era of women's basketball would spin. Contrast that with A.J. Wilson. Once celebrated as a veteran presence, she now faced the harsh reality of her choices. Months of public attacks, calculated social media campaigns, and attempts to diminish Clark's success had left her isolated. Sponsors lost interest, fans grew disenchanted, and Team USA moved forward without her. Every attempt she had made to compete off the court had backfired, leaving her relevance in tatters. What Wilson had hoped to gain recognition, validation, a share of Clark's spotlight had instead illuminated her own insecurities. Clark, meanwhile, continued to redefine what it meant to be a superstar. She wasn't just scoring points or breaking records. She was elevating everyone around her. Her teammates trusted her vision, her coaches built entire systems around her skill set, and fans embraced her as the face of a global revolution in women's basketball. Every practice, every camp, every endorsement opportunity reinforced her role as the undisputed leader of the next generation. The emotional contrast between Clark and Wilson could not have been starker. One player thrived under pressure, inspiring teammates, attracting fans, and commanding attention with grace and talent. The other, consumed by envy, watched from the sidelines, unable to translate past success into continued influence. Wilson's toxic behavior didn't just alienate her peers. It forced the sport to move forward without her. Clark's story became a blueprint, not only for athletic excellence but for professional and personal conduct. Talent alone is not enough. How one navigates success, handles rivals, and leads others defines a legacy. By embracing focus, collaboration, and integrity, Clark didn't just survive the spotlight, she owned it. Meanwhile, Wilson's decline serves as a cautionary tale. Jealousy and resentment may temporarily feel empowering, but they ultimately destroy the very career they aim to elevate. Caitlin Clark was not just winning games. She was winning the future of the sport. Every record, every endorsement, and every Team USA opportunity became a testament to the power of dedication, resilience, and unshakable vision. And as the world watched, it was clear the next chapter of women's basketball belonged entirely to her generation. As the training camp ended and Team USA finalized its plans for the 2026 World Cup, one truth was undeniable. Caitlin Clark was not just a rising star, she was the cornerstone of an entire generation. Every strategy, every lineup, every high-stakes decision revolved around her unique combination of skill, vision, and leadership. She had become the standard by which future players would be measured. Clark's journey is a masterclass in resilience, focus, and professionalism. While others allowed envy to dictate their actions, she stayed true to her craft, elevating herself through hard work and dedication rather than distraction and negativity. Her influence reached far beyond the court. Sponsors, fans, and young athletes looked to her not just as a player, but as a role model, proof that integrity paired with talent produces results that transcend the sport itself. A J. Wilson story, in contrast, serves as a cautionary tale. Jealousy consumed her focus, and every attempt to undermine Clark only highlighted her own vulnerabilities. Her social media campaigns, cryptic posts, and public criticisms became evidence of insecurity rather than strength. Sponsors, fans, and officials all witnessed the consequences of toxic behavior firsthand. Wilson's career trajectory shifted dramatically from respected veteran to sidelined observer, while Clark soared to unprecedented heights. The contrast between the two athletes couldn't be more profound. Clark's rise reflects what happens when skill, mindset, and opportunity align. Wilson's decline illustrates the dangers of letting jealousy dictate one's choices. This rivalry, intensely scrutinized by the public, ultimately reinforced a universal lesson: greatness is achieved through excellence and perseverance, not through tearing others down. As Clark prepares to lead Team USA into international competition, the world watches in anticipation. Every dribble, every pass, every play becomes a symbol of progress, not only for her career, but for the sport itself. She is setting a precedent, proving that one player can shape an entire era, inspire millions, and redefine what is possible for fans. This is more than basketball. It's a story of triumph, character, and vision. Caitlin Clark has earned her place in history, while a J. Wilson's absence reminds us that the choices we make in the shadows of success can determine our legacy. The 2026 World Cup, the 2028 Olympics, and the future of women's basketball all belong to Clark's generation. She has claimed her throne not through envy or aggression, but through undeniable talent, unshakable focus, and a heart that elevates everyone around her. The lesson is clear: talent will open doors, professionalism will keep them open, and integrity will ensure the spotlight shines where it belongs. Caitlin Clark is ready, the world is watching, and the new era has officially begun.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.